Let's turn to China now. They're hosting Maldivian President Mohamed Muizzu. He's on a 5-day visit. Yesterday was his big day in Beijing. First up was a visit to the Communist Party Museum. Muizzu looked thoroughly floored. He got a video tour of Chinese history, tried his hand at a simulator, and finally signed the visitor's log. Next up was the main event, his date with Xi Jinping. Muizzu and the First Lady got a ceremonial welcome at the Great Hall of People. He inspected a guard of honor, he got a 21-gun salute and then got down to business.
I'm undertaking this visit to your beautiful country with 7 ministers of my cabinet as a clear demonstration of my strong commitment and desire to reinvigorate the Maldives' long-standing friendship with the government and people of China, and to discuss ways of expanding it for the benefit of our people of our two countries.
Now, this is a classic Chinese strategy. Give your guest a tour, show off your impressive infrastructure, then hold bilateral talks. The idea is quite simple. By the time you get down to business, you're overawed. You're already impressed by China's might. Then it's Xi Jinping's turn to put the finishing touches. Listen to this.
You are the first foreign head of state that I have received this year. This visit to China is also your first state visit to a foreign country after taking office as president. Under the new situation, the relations between China and the Maldives are facing a historical opportunity to build on what has been achieved and chart the way forward.
Xi thinks it's a historical opportunity. For him, yes, it is. But for the Maldives, not really. This is a country already sinking under Chinese debt. Malé owes China more than $1.3 billion. That's 20% of its total debt. So logically, what should Muizzu do? Stay away from Chinese loans and investments. That's what the World Bank told them last year. But Muizzu is doing the opposite. He has signed 20 agreements with China. They cover a number of sectors and industries like tourism, disaster management, blue economy and digital economy. Of course, infrastructure is on the table too. Muizzu and Xi agreed to accelerate a number of projects under the BRI, the Belt and Road Initiative. They also elevated the ties to a new level, that of comprehensive strategic cooperative partnership. I guess the question is why? China has a history of debt traps. You already owe them 20% of your debt. So why go back for seconds? To understand that, we need to look at President Muizzu. In 2012, he became the Maldives' housing and infrastructure minister, and he held that position until 2018. In that time, China invested a lot of money in the Maldives. Look at some of the major projects. 1,500 housing units in Hulhu, Malé. Total cost, around $138 million. In 2015, China won the contract to upgrade an airport. The Vilana International Airport cost $373 million. In 2016, another project was awarded to build a bridge between 3 Maldivian islands. Again, cost $63 million. It was first called the China-Maldives Friendship Bridge. Later, it was renamed to Sina Malé Bridge. So that's 3 major projects in 5 years. And who was the infrastructure minister during this time? Mohamed Muizzu. So clearly he has dealt with Beijing in the past, and chances are those contacts remain. Just look at the state visit. Muizzu had a meeting with Chang Yong-chun. He is president of BUCG International. That's the Beijing Urban Construction Group, BUCG. They've built some iconic structures in the Chinese capital, like the 2008 Olympic venues. But guess what else they have built? A seaplane terminal at the Vilana Airport in the Maldives. And when was the project given? When Muizzu was infrastructure minister. He's kept those contacts alive. In 2022, Muizzu addressed some Communist Party officials at an online event. Look at what he told them. Our party's return would script a further chapter of strong ties between our two countries. So the love for China is not new. It's been a part of Mohamed Muizzu's career. But to bring China in, he had to push India out. So he made New Delhi the enemy. How? With blatant misinformation. And we are not the ones saying this. We are quoting what European election observers have said. They had visited the Maldives during the election. They spent around 11 weeks there in the Maldives. And now they have submitted a report to the European Union. Look at what this report says. I'm quoting. The campaign included anti-Indian sentiments based on fears of Indian influences and anxiety regarding a presence of Indian military personnel inside the country. This theme was subject to multiple online disinformation attempts. In simpler words, fake news. Muizzu drummed up fears of Indian influence in the Maldives. He radicalized his supporters and now he's cozying up to Beijing, which raises multiple questions about the president. Is he China's man in Mali? Did he get help from China during the elections? Well, he wouldn't be the first. Reports say China also funded Mahinda Rajapaksa's election campaign in Sri Lanka. Beijing gave his aides $7.6 million plus investments in projects in his hometown. So Beijing has a history of doing this. They also have a history of cutting and running. Muizzu should be mindful of that. If not, he could be the next victim.